Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Viviana and I will be sharing with you all about my prep as I am getting ready for a bodybuilding show that I plan to compete. So here we go. Hello everybody, so I am back home from India for my vacation, and as I shared, I am starting my prep. So believe it or not, I woke up today at 5 to get to my gym, and because my sleep has been all over the place, but I am super excited. I plan to share my prep with all of you, so here we go. Good morning everybody, it is Tuesday and I went back to work yesterday, Monday, so it has been crazy. I have to be catching up with work. I started prep yesterday and then I am here at the gym training, but it is also my check-in day, so I'll be checking in today, and I haven't checked in the past 2 weeks when I was out on vacation, so we shall see the weight, measurements, anything that changed, plus my feedback if I have to do any changes. So I will share with you my feedback and what's coming up. Okay, so I just finished my training and my cardio, and now I'm about to change and check in. So that means showering, putting on my bikini, my shoes, taking my pictures, and sending my coach my measurements, my weight, and then of course just letting him know how things are going, how compliant I am with my macros and all that kind of stuff. So here we go.
Hi, Viviana. Welcome back from India. You trained on vacation, tried some food, stayed active, long flights, and it's really nice to just see you stable, right? I think a lot of times there can be some anxiety around travel, and you're crushing it. So we're not going to really make any changes this week. I'm happy to see you checking in and just in a good place, mentally, physically, hopefully refreshed. And I think as bodybuilders, we kind of crave that routine. So for you, getting back into that routine is key. Okay. Thanks, Viviana. Let me know if you have any questions, and let's go from there.
Good morning everybody. So I'm going to try to take you today through my routine in the morning, and then we'll see how far we get with kind of taking you through my day. But we are going to start with kind of sharing with you what I do in the morning every day, whether it is prep or not, but mainly now that I'm on prep. So first of all, I want to make sure that my gym attire is ready every day, so that in the morning when I wake up at 4:30 in the morning to hit the gym at 5, I already have it ready and I'm not wasting time. So I already had my attire ready. I changed, washed, my face, teeth, everything, got it done, and so now I'm gonna get ready to go train. So let's go. Okay, so my gym is on the 23rd floor where I live, so that's kind of an advantage because I don't have to leave. I just go up to the highest floor and the gym is right here. So that's a big advantage versus years ago where I had to, leave home and actually drive to the gym at this time. So and today we are going to start, or I'm going to do upper body. It's just an upper body day. Otherwise, like most of the time I share my lower body, but We are doing right now, as far as like my training is, it's 5 times a week. And so I do lower body and upper body power training on my first 2 days, and then lower body, upper body, and lower body. So 3 times a week is lower body, and 2 times a week is upper body. And then right now my cardio continues to be a 30-minute walk for only 5 times a week as well. So it's not bad at all, but we know this is the beginning of our prep. So Chelsea. Always have to get on things for whatever we need. If you guys have followed me previously, you know that I have little stools around my home just because I need it for my cabinets, fridge, in the bathroom, etc. Same here. I have to get on in order to get the handle on here. So anyways, here we go. We do single. And so, let's see here. As always, we want to make sure that, yes, we lift heavy, but that it's weight that we can have, that we're able to lift with good technique. So, okay, so we're going to do the same thing with the other arm. Here we go. Okay, moving on to the next exercise. And continue with pullovers and then some curls for biceps. We're working on biceps and triceps. We're working on back over there. So yeah, let's get started. Most of the time, I'll do 3 sets of 12. I do enjoy volume versus sets or reps. So I prefer to go heavier with less reps than it is a higher number and less weight. So that's my preference, but obviously we know that as long as there's progressive overload, then you should be able to see improvement. Next, we're going to move on to curls for our biceps. And now we're doing our last exercise. And this is for my triceps. Sometimes I'll do the pull downs, and just the problem with me, and we can go into this in another video, but I have arthritis, and sometimes, you know, there's some pain coming through that obviously I don't want to go through that. So if that happens, then I use the tricep. I use the rope to use my tricep to work on my triceps, but that is an option. And the good thing is for exercising for training, there's a lot of options that we can do for the same muscle, and that's basically what I do. Depending in the gym, the equipment that is available is what I'll use. So a lot of the times I hear from either clients or friends, people I know, including my husband or my daughter, there's not a certain machine that they are programmed for, that they don't do that exercise. And really there's so many other exercises that you can do for a specific muscle that you should be able to do it even if you only have dumbbells. So anyways, this is my other option for my triceps, and here we go. My goodness, even triceps get me tired. Triceps. Okay. Okay, and whether I am not prep or if I'm on prep, I will practice posing. But obviously now that I am on prep for a show, then this is going to be something that I have to schedule, make sure that I do off season or improvement season, whatever it is that you call maintenance and your off season. During that time, I practice my posing, because you don't want to just not practice at all, but just not as often. And this time what I did is kind of practicing already on how I can change my routine and kind of tweak it and see what's working for me or not. And I'll record myself over and over again to see how I'm doing and what I need to change. So when I'm done with my training, when I'm done with my cardio, the other thing that I will do, and again, it depends on the schedule and the training. Some of my training sessions, take longer than others. Upper body for me is a shorter training most of the time. Lower body is a lot longer for me. So I'm going to do my posing practice after I do my cardio. So here we go. Okay, and when I'm practicing, if it's like the first time, you want to make sure that you have the required posing obviously first, and then once you have that down, then that's when you incorporate like your style, what you want to add, and kind of make up your choreography. But since I've done this, I don't know, I think it was like almost 13 years, my first prep. So it's been a while, so I know things have changed, especially for the wellness. I used to do bikini and now I'm doing wellness category. But now I feel like it's down in there and we know what they want and what they're looking for. So anyways, I will share with you what I've been practicing and my choreography. The other thing that I've been incorporating is yoga. I do feel that I have a kind of stressful job at times, and so I think that meditation and yoga has been very helpful. So I've incorporated that after my training, after I do that a couple of days out of the week, and here on my own, and then on the weekends I do go for a group yoga as well, obviously when I'm not out of town or on vacation and things like that. But actually when I went to India, which we know that that's where yoga comes from, I got to do yoga at the resorts that I was at and with different instructors. So it's pretty amazing, and I learned a lot actually and the difference from the yoga here and in India. So what I'll do is kind of do my meditation before I head out, and then after that, then I will go get ready for work. So I am done here. I start, like I say, around 4:30 a.m. and then I head back home so that I can shower and then get ready for work. So come with me to get ready. Okay, so now I'm going to go up, actually down to my home, and then we will get ready for work. Okay, so when I get back from the gym, every day I have to weigh myself. I shower and get ready for work, but the difference is on once a week I have to check in. So when I check in, that's when I have to do my measurements. So once a week I will do my measurements. Every day I will weigh myself. So that's what we do every single day. Okay, and we weigh ourselves down. That's it. And now I have an app where I log in my weight, my macros, my foods, everything. So every day I'll make sure I put them in there so that we can keep track of it. And that's it. Okay, so now that I've already showered and kind of did my makeup, I'm not going to share with you my makeup and how I do it because I don't even know what I'm doing. So not good at all. I just put whatever on my face, a little lip gloss, and that is it. Now I will put on products for my hair, for my curls, and then I got these bracelets from India that I'm loving and I'm wearing almost every day. But other than that, I'll just change for work, and then my next thing is get all my my food, my lunch ready for me to take to work. Okay, so the next thing is always have my meal prepared. So I take my lunch is already done. I try to make my lunch for work on the weekends, and that's basically the only meal that I prepare. I will take snacks and I will take other meals for the emergency. So in case, my car stops working and I can't get home for my next meal, or I have a doctor's appointment, I don't know, something comes up, I've always had an extra meal and snacks in case that were to be the case. So these are the kind of things that I keep the protein shakes extra. I do have protein powder, and all of the previous preps that I've done have been with my protein powder that I actually either do it with water or almond milk. I have not used it as much as I would before, just for convenience. So these are just like ready for me to drink. And this is what I've been drinking in the mornings. Now, obviously you guys know that there's different flavors and options everywhere. So it's really up to you what you enjoy, as long as you consume, your protein. Now, in the morning, I always want to make sure that my first drink of the day is water. So I always have at least 20 ounces of water when my day starts before anything else I eat or drink. I enjoy coffee a lot, but that's not the first thing I have in the morning. And that is actually the last thing I do before I head to work. So I will drink my water, exercise, do my, my shake in the morning, all of that before, and then until I get ready for work and I have everything done, I will have my coffee time, what we call coffee chat with my husband. And that is the last thing we do before we head out to work. So in my lunch bag right here, I have my foods that I was talking about that I take with me. Here's my lunch, and then I also carry like protein snacks, protein bar, my vitamins, and then of course my scale. And the scale, I'll take it with me everywhere, again, just in case of an emergency. If my food were to go bad and I need to purchase something, I will obviously get like something that does not have oil, like a grilled chicken, some fresh salad, things like those, that I can know that I can be more specific on my macros. But I have my scale with me at all times in case I were to need it. And like I said, I will have a shake with me. I leave some at work in my little refrigerator. I always want to plan ahead, and that's really what you want, just because if anything were to go wrong with the plan of the day, you have a plan B, right? So that's really how it's worked out for me for the past, like I said, over 13 years. Just plan ahead. Okay, so previous preps, I have been doing my protein pancakes. That's kind of like the thing that I was eating every day. I still continue to eat the same meal for work, which is my egg salad that I like, and I'll change it once in a while. We have some amazing cooks at work, and one of them in particular is always feeding me, which is interesting because you don't want to tell people no, right, when they give you food. But when you're on prep, it's pretty hard. So again, sometimes depending on what I have at work or what they give me at work, I will take my scale and maybe make changes with the vegetables or a grilled chicken and things like that. But 99% of the time, I eat the same meals every day. Now, I try to change the menu during the week. And of course, because I flexible diet, I change most of the time my dinner, and that's when I get to spend time with my husband. So during the day, my meals are the same every day. And then in the evening, either my second to last, my dinner, or my last one, which is my night snack, those might change. But again, most of the time, they're all the same, and that is because it is easier for me to track. I can just continue to have the same calories, the same meals, and there's no guessing on how much I'm consuming. So that is also something that you won't be stressed about, right? And the other thing, you want to be flexible, which is what I do, so that you don't get burned out and you don't end up with eating disorders if you are, keeping yourself from eating certain things. And again, we know that with prep, it's different. You have a certain amount of calories, right? Certain amount of protein and carbs and fats and fiber and things that you have to consume to perform as an athlete. Plus, if you're, on a prep, you're going to be eating less, and so you have to be a little more, just smart about how you're going to be consuming your calories. But again, I'm starting my prep, so I'm on a pretty high calorie, and so it's easier for me at the moment. When it gets closer to the show, that's when we'll start having less calories, and that's when I have to make sure that I'm really smart about what I consume and how my calories are. Again, it is ongoing, but there's more flexibility. But yeah, so this is what I've been having every day. Now these, I get them at Sam's Club for boxes. And actually my daughter introduced them to me. She wanted to get some, and I don't know if she saw them on social media or what, but they're very good. And this is a chocolate milkshake flavor. And I always have made my own. I've never been a buy shake kind of person. If I buy them, it's to make my ice creams, like the creamies, or to use them to bake different things, but never like this. But when I tried this one, it is very good. So that is actually what I have been having in the mornings. And again, I used to just have my protein pancakes, and now I'm consuming this. So We shall see for how long. If you're not familiar with competitors, most will kind of stick to the same thing and kind of start having these certain foods that they enjoy, that we enjoy, and that will keep them for a while. And then once we pick up on a new one, then that'll be the one that we'll have for a while. So I've been having this already for months, and let's see if during prep I will change back to my protein pancakes or if I'll keep this. But if you're interested, just so you're aware, these are 30 grams of protein. It has 160 calories total, 5 grams of carbs, and 2.5 of fat. And again, these are sold in boxes at the Sam's Club. So there you go. Okay, so sometimes we'll have our coffee in my apartment at home. Then there's other times that we'll come and have our coffee here. And so that is kind of like the routine for my morning to get started before work. So right now, after I have like my morning chat with my husband, we'll go for work. Okay, everybody, so I am back to YouTube. I was off for a few weeks. You guys know I had been sharing with you my last prep and then also post prep show. And just recently I came back from vacation for 2 weeks. So I did not check in for 2 weeks. I always check in every day, regardless if I'm on prep or not. I was not weighing myself, checking my macros, weighing my food. I did not do that while I was on vacation. So I was a little nervous, but I also know that that's usually what happens. I've done this every year. I go on a vacation or I go on trips and you just feel nervous. But then again, most of the time when you're on vacation, you're more active. You're doing more things. So anyways, you end up not gaining a lot of weight or not gaining weight at all. So when I left on my vacation 2 weeks ago, I was actually 130 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. I need to go back, but I came back 128. So I actually lost 2 pounds. Now, it could have been different things. We've talked about the weight, where it could be, the fluctuation of the weight due to hydration, menstrual cycle, the food that I'm eating. So I did not, stop myself from eating anything or trying anything while I was on vacation. I tried everything that I wanted to, and I enjoyed the days that I was off. I did train, but not as scheduled. I actually trained, I think it was twice a week or 3 times max, but I did do yoga. I did go on walks. I was exploring the city and the places that I was, and I really enjoyed it. I actually went to India, so we were able to see to ride an elephant and see just other things that we don't see here in in the state, right? In Texas, we do see people riding horses, right? And we see cows, but it's a different environment. But anyway, it was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. But I was also excited, not only about my trip, but then excited about prepping for the show, because I knew that the plan was when I would come back to start my prep. And so I came back. I went straight to my scheduled training, cardio, meals, everything. And then now checking in, obviously every week, we're going to see how changes are going to happen, and I'm going to try to share as much as I can with all of you. But as of now, we're just kind of trying to get back to our routine, do what we normally do, make sure that we are as compliant with everything as possible, so that that can help us know where to move from here, right? Now the plan is to do Texas State, the show coming up in November, but obviously we know that that's the plan. We'll see how things go. If everything goes as planned, that is what we're going for. Now, the other thing is that I mentioned on my last video, we are going for the natural show. So I've been over 13 years a natural bodybuilder. I do not plan to change. Now we know that the the categories as you know the sport evolves. We've seen more muscle mass. We've seen changes on the categories, and I love it. But I'm 43, going on 44 years old. I am, you know, my thoughts, my goals, my just in general, I feel probably different from other athletes. So I'm going to share my journey, my way of training, my way of getting ready for a show naturally. And so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to continue doing NPC. Now, as we know, NPC does now have drug tested natural tests, and that's what we're going to do. So I hope that I can share as much as I can and that you enjoy my videos. Thank you so much in advance for your support. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.